Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of the Articulate Fly. We're back with another Southwest Virginia fishing report with Matt Reilly. How you doing, Matt?
Oh, doing good, Marvin. Just hanging out down here in Cape Lookout. Looking forward to doing some albie fishing before things get crazy this month.
Yeah, it's funny. We were talking before you start recording. I think all of you guys are basically out kind of doing your personal goof-off fishing time before you start grinding out the winter fishing season.
It is a good time to do that. So hopefully we have some good fishing and we can have something to think about for the next couple of months before spring gets here.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny, right? Because we've kind of like warmed up a little bit more than we would expect for this time of the year back in Southwest Virginia, right?
We are, I'd say, are a little bit on the warm side of seasonal. Looking at the next 10 days or so, lows in the, mid to upper 40s, 50s, and highs around 70, 75 degrees. So, things are probably going to warm up just a little bit, but otherwise they're going to kind of pause for a week or two, I think.
Yeah, which I guess will make people possibly slightly more optimistic on the smallmouth front, but probably doesn't have any real meaningful impact on the trout and the muskie fishing.
Right. It'll keep things pretty active because water temps aren't gonna keep trudging down. The trout fishing will be the trout fishing. The smallmouth bite should be, pretty good for folks who are going to get out and do that. We've had water temps around, the kind of bouncing everywhere depending on where you are and where we are in these temperature swings. But, mid 50s probably on average, maybe upper 50s, with the temps warming up a little bit. So we'll have fish probably staging, near some winter habitat, certainly probably grouped up a little bit. And, they should be fairly active with some fairly warm water temps.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say it'll probably make them a little chasey, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And what do you expect to see kind of on the muskie front in the next, say, week to 10 days?
Well, we did get a little bit of rain today, last night through this morning, this afternoon, but hadn't really done a whole lot for bumping stream flows, maybe a little bit, but so water's still going to stay low. If we're having warmer weather, water temperatures are going to stay up, and it looks like we're going to have mostly sun, so we're still going to be dealing with low, clear water with lots of ambient light, and so it's still going to be a fairly finesse game, or just covering water and trying to kill fish with speed, so to speak. Kind of prey on that predatory instinct to chase things that are running away from them. So that's probably what we'll be doing. That's what I have been doing for the last couple of weeks when we've been out chasing muskie.
Yeah, makes it challenging though when you have to try to really get them to eat away from the boat, though.
It does. Yeah, you're not going to do much at the boat like we've talked about. But like I said, kind of the approach is generally going to be forcing a split-second decision from a fish that's kind of neutral, or giving them something that's just super kind of tempting and non-threatening and natural looking to potentially commit to with kind of the finesse game. So it's there's a little bit of thought that goes into it. Certainly, we're not just going out and stripping flies back to the boat without much consideration, really.
Yeah, and got a question for you, which is kind of this will be interesting, right? It's from Colby, and he wanted to get kind of your ideal conditions for chasing muskie on the fly in terms of water clarity and water temperature and weather.
Yeah, that's a good question, and it if I could have everything in my favor, I would say I'd love to have, if we're talking fall, winter, I'd love to have water temperatures kind of in the mid to upper 40 degree range, probably, not super cold, but cold enough to kind of make them predictable, have them sort of staged or at least somewhat concentrated in certain places. And then I'd love to have, clear-ish water, clear enough to be able to see, your fly and potentially a following fish, but not so clear that, they can see everything and all the lights are on. And so that's probably going to look like, 4, 5, 6 feet of visibility, maybe, if I had to put a number on it. But some color in the water is good. It just kind of makes the fish feel a little bit more comfortable, and it hides you from them a little bit. It hides some whatever kind of visual flaws there might be in a fly, as far as an imitation of a food source goes. And then low light's always good too, as a predatory fish, just like anything, a big brown trout or striper, they definitely feel more comfortable, and they're a little bit more on, so to speak, when they've got kind of that ambush opportunity or that cover darkness, so to speak. So dark weather, fairly not dingy or real cloudy, but just kind of not super clear water, and then water that's not super cold but not so warm that they're still kind of spread out. And that's kind of what we're generally seeing earlier in the fall, and we're kind of getting past that at this point. If things aren't perfect, I would take, like we very well may be dealing with this clear water, low water for a good while, low light's always the best opportunity. So if you're looking at your extended forecast for the week and you got one day to fish and one day is going to be heavily overcast or rainy or something like that, that's probably your day.
Yeah. And then on the weather front, I'm assuming you probably cloudy is good, right? But also you probably like stable from a weather perspective or a falling barometer, but probably not like right on the change and rising barometric pressure.
I would say so. Yeah.
Well, Colby, I think we touched most of the bases, but if we didn't, you can hit us back. And, folks, we love questions on the articulate fly. You can email them to us. You can DM us on social media, whatever's easiest for you. If we use your question, I will send you some articulate fly swag. And we are drawing for something cool for Matt at the end of the season. And Matt, before I let you go finish your barbecue and your hush puppies and think about chasing false albacore, you want to tell folks how they can find you so they can book you and fish with you this winter?
Yeah. The website is MattReillyFlyFishing.com, and all my contact info's on there. So feel free to reach out however you like.
Well, there you go. Well, listen, folks, as I always say, fall is my favorite time of the year to be out on the water. You owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few. Tight lines, everybody. Tight lines, Matt.
Thanks, Marvin.